Have you ever wondered what happens when internet egos the size of small nations collide live, unscripted, and fueled by millions of anonymous cheerleaders who treat drama like oxygen? Picture this. 1 second your favorite game stream is rolling along, the next second spite, lawsuits and real-world stalkers are erupting across half a dozen channels, and you're gripping your phone like the season finale of the wildest reality show never filmed. We're diving into 6 creator feuds so intense, they shook platforms, shredded friendships, and even dragged the courts into chat, yet somehow still left viewers begging for more. You will see a hate raid that flips into a heartfelt apology, gambling accusations that crack open a hidden assault scandal, and a gun-waving insult war that ends with the most humiliating meme in streamer history. And that's only the opening act, because the final showdown turns a messy breakup into a legal labyrinth live-streamed for 100,000 strangers. Ready to scroll past the point of no return? It started on January 12th, 2022, with 3 innocent-looking characters. L plus Ratio spammed so violently across Pokemon his live chat that had the top woman on Twitch killed her own stream just to breathe, because Gideon, a freshly partnered prankster hungry for clout, had unleashed a full-blown hate raid that shredded every line in the terms of service. Twitch swung a 14-day ban that escalated into a permanent exile when Gideon kept gloating on Twitter, yet behind the scenes, he tried to claw his way back by gifting Ninja 100 subs, begging the platform's former golden boy to pull strings, and Ninja, caught on camera mid-Fortnite, casually promised to text my guy at Twitch, a sentence that detonated hours later when Pokemon replayed the clip and called him out for enabling harassment. Enter Jessica Blevins, Ninja's manager and wife, sliding into Poke's DMs with legal thunder, threatening a defamation suit and insisting no text was ever sent, only for Pokemon to expose those very messages live, turning a petty raid into a creator versus creator courtroom teaser watched by millions. Gideon eventually swallowed his pride, dropped a tear-streaked Dear Poke apology, and filmed an IRL collab that stunned viewers with a literal embrace, proving even internet wars can U-turn into peace. But brace yourself, because the next saga drags gambling money, sexual assault cover-up claims, and a friendship meltdown so radioactive it squashed an entire streaming empire. September 2022 was supposed to be the month Twitch finally confronted its gambling addiction, yet one tweet detonated that debate into something far darker. After Misgift rallied creators to push for a slot stream ban in the wake of its sliker scamming fans, Trainwreck, whose pockets 7 figures a month spinning digital roulette, firing back with an accusation so nuclear it silenced every timeline scroll. Misgift, he claimed, had helped bury an incident in which his roommate Crazy Slick inappropriately touched streamer Adriana Lee while she was barely conscious at a 2021 party. Suddenly, the issue wasn't gambling ethics but a potential assault cover-up, and the internet had receipts. Tearful streams from Adriana, an old clip of Misgift downplaying the encounter as not that big of a deal, and leaked a Discord call where XQC, once Mrs. Confidant, verbally torched him for protecting a predator. Sponsors fled, Otake suspended its co-founder, Crazy Slick vanished, and Misgift's public apology landed with a thud of a slot machine swallowing its last chip. An internal investigation would later reinstate him, minus board power, but the damage to friendships was irreversible. A reminder that buried secrets resurface when money and morality collide. And speaking of money and morality, wait until you see what happens when blockchain riches meet YouTube's top detective. When blockchain sleuth CoffeeZilla dropped his 3-part expose in December 2022, he didn't just peel back the glossy veneer of Logan Paul's CryptoZoo NFT game, he autopsied it, transaction by transaction, showing how millions in zoo coins and pixel-like NFTs hatched nothing but hot air while insiders quietly cashed out. So by New Year's Eve, investors were left holding receipts to a virtual zoo that never opened its gates. Logan's fury arrived in 3rd January 2023 as a slick, dimly lit video where he lobbed every grenade except evidence. He mocked CoffeeZilla's journalism, blamed shadowy developers, and punctuated the rant with a legal threat: "See you in court." Instead of nuking the allegations, the move napalmed Logan's own credibility, Fans ratioed the upload into oblivion, commentary channels archived every frame, and within 72 hours the video vanished like CryptoZoo's roadmap. Then came the whiplash twist. Logan privately called CoffeeZilla, admitted the lawsuit bluff, thanking him for exposing the mess, and publicly promised a $1.5 million restitution fund. Viewers realized even YouTube titans can be dragged into transparency when the blockchain keeps the receipts. Yet, our next feud proves that sometimes transparency arrives at gunpoint, live on camera with a single devastating meme. For months, Sneako hurled playground insults from his new Rumble perch, labeling Moist Control a soy boy beta and jeering at Charlie's girlfriend, but the internet barely blinked. Until March 2023, when Sneako waved a gun magazine on stream, snaring "Watch my clips" like some hard-edged movie villain challenging critics to step outside. Charlie answered with surgical calm. In a video titled "Sneako is Horrible," he dismantled every accusation. Then, in a masterstroke of meme warfare, lifted a sleek pistol into frame, paused and said, "I think you meant these clips," before revealing an even larger rifle, explaining the simple difference between a clip and a magazine, while Sneako's bravado detonated in real time. The internet crowned critical king of clapbacks, the gun flex image spread faster than any viral dance, Sneako's reputation imploded, and his desperate challenge to a boxing match was swatted away with a casual tweet. Not worth the bandwidth. It was a reputational knockout so complete it felt like a finishing move, yet if you think that's the peak of IRL escalation, wait until a 34 million sub superstar decides to settle a YouTube beef by stalking her critics' front lawn. In mid-2023, longtime satirist Jax Films launched a weekly roast of SS Sniper Wolf's reaction videos, pausing every recycled TikTok to point out how she added little more than a giggle before pocketing millions, and while Alia brushed him off as obsessed, her patience snapped on an October night when she drove to his Los Angeles house, snapped a photo of the front facade, and posted it on her Instagram story with the taunt, "Let's talk like adults." Within minutes, Jax shared the screenshot on X, calling the stunt creepy, gross, and insanely dangerous, and the creator community detonated. Doxing a peer is the cardinal sin. YouTube's silence for 48 excruciating hours sparked a trending hashtag that finally forced the platform to demonetize one of its biggest stars. A corporate spanking scene around the world, Sniper Wolf's defense? His address is on Google. I don't even know how docs only deepened the crater, and her teary apology landed like a wet firework. Reputation scorched, she retreated. Jack parlayed the saga into a comedic content comeback, reminding everyone that sometimes the line between online and real life is a front door. But if you think unresolved rivalries keep people hooked, imagine an entire sport thriving on a grudge that still hasn't seen a single punch thrown. Since 2018, these two influencer heavyweights have circled each other like planets on a collision course, monetizing every near miss. By 2022, their Twitter jabs turned venomous, with KSI mocking Jake's retired MMA grandpa's win column, while Jake labeled KSI's opponents gamers and has-beens. The trash talk peaked in a chaotic January 2023 Twitter Spaces, where 60,000 listeners heard Jake roar, "If you could flatten me, you'd have done it by now," and KSI shoot back, "You'll know fear when the contract's real." Fans screamed for a date. Promoters dangled winner-takes-all offers, yet negotiations collapsed after KSI's contentious elbow knockout of Joe Fournier and a subsequent loss to Tommy Fury. 2 years later, the feud lives on as social media theater, every cryptic emoji from either camp spikes boxing rumor stocks, proving sometimes the promise of violence sells better than violence itself. Still, no saga weaponizes real heartbreak like the breakup that hijacked Twitch's front page. When XQC and Adept split in September 2022, viewers expected subtweets and maybe a tearful stream, not a courtroom thriller starring a $300,000 McLaren and something called common law marriage. Adept filed to freeze assets claiming Texas recognized their live-in relationship. XQC insisted the only living comment between them now was bad blood. The drama burst into real life on a January 2023 broadcast. Adept marched into XQC's house midstream, microphones caught muffled, accusations of violating a court order, and 110,000 stunned fans watched their favorite Overwatch god mute, pace, and abruptly kill the feed. Leaked documents, whispered misconduct claims, and a sudden move to Quebec kept Reddit detectives busy for months until late 2023, when XQC casually told Chat the legal battle was basically done. Rumors say the court tossed the common law claim, but scars remain, and so does the lesson that livestream fame turns private love into public litigation at the speed of a dropped Twitch clip. Drama never sleeps online. Any creator, any day could spark the next headline. So whose meltdown shocked you most, and which feud should we deep dive next? Smash that like button, drop your hottest take in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's chaos.